What is up, team, and welcome back to the Technical Fowl Podcast. As always, you're joined by the three of us. I'm Jack Anderson. To my right is JP Pusilowski. To my left is Sanders Oakley. If you're, watching the live back and you wonder why we started at 2.5 minutes, it's because it started at 10:43, which is later than we normally record. And we just completed a 9-hour trip back from College Station because we went to the A&M State game there this weekend.
Went to is generous.
JP went to it. He was our
trip.
representative. We went down to hang out with some friends, but it was a good time, and so we figured we'd go and get started so we can get some sleep because all of us are pretty beat, I think.
I agree. This is not our latest show. We had that
We're
one,
close.
the one NBA game where I believe we started at like midnight or 1 a.m.
Midnight. I do think we have a midnight start.
So that's crazy. What are y'all? Are we looking at yapping? Is that what's?
Yeah, I am. We have an Eastern time zone guy saying he's got to get to bed.
Sorry. Understandable, Andrew. Hey, you
Agreed.
should. I was about to say talk to him like he's here. When you watch it back, you should like the video. Do we just want to dive right in and like hit our week and we'll do the state review?
I'm good with that. JP, you good with that?
Sure.
Cool.
All right, give me a sec. I'm just gonna be not making. I already made the graphics. I will be changing the graphics on the fly.
While you do that, I will just also address we're not revealing our top 25s because once again it's a bit of a hectic show, and we're trying to keep it a little shorter. We will reveal that Tuesday, and we're also doing 2 shows Tuesday because it's Mississippi State's fall break. So me and JP will have already left to go home by Thursday when we normally do our preview show. So we'll have an NFL recap show on Tuesday, and then almost immediately following, we'll have a preview show for the following weekend of football, which should be a ton of fun. Another long day, but at this point, we rattle it off like it's nothing, no big deal. We're locked in. Are you good?
Yeah, let's do A&M.
Cool. The first game we're going to talk about, as always, is the Mississippi State game. They went down to Kyle Field to play my Texas A&M Aggies, and it was a bit of a slugfest in the first half. Ended up being 7-3 at halftime. Not a pretty game, but the lack of a bye, the injuries, the lack of depth piled up for State in the second half, and the dam burst. The offense couldn't get anything going, and the defense got gassed. And so my Aggies ended up winning 31-9, and they do cover the spread we thought was ludicrous. So Vegas knows.
Vegas knew.
Which we kind of already knew that, but it is what it is. Sanders, your biggest takeaway from the game?
My biggest takeaway is the offensive line injuries. It prevented us from having a passing game. We could not pass the ball successfully for the entirety of the game. And then you remember one of the few clean pockets that Blake Shapen had. Completion, touchdown. Brennan Thompson beats, what's his name? We got him in our...
Des Ricks
over the top and scores a touchdown. So he does some... But yeah, offensive line trouble was huge. Sacks... tackles for losses. A&M recorded 4 sacks, 9 tackles for losses, and our starting line recorded PFF pass block grades of 69, 54.6, 36.9, 34.4, and 32. So that was a huge struggle for us. It put us in long distances, which goes to my next point, which was third downs. We were 1 for 10 on third downs, which now means that A&M has forced teams to go 1 for 22, was Auburn 0 for 12?
1 for 20.
They were over 13.
Yeah, 1 for 24 or something like that.
Okay, 1 for 24. Somewhere in there. Bad. And our average distance to go, do y'all know? You want to guess? It's really bad. Double digits.
It's 16.
I have average third down distance being 11.4. I don't know where you're getting 16. I can go back and... I got it straight from...
I'm not getting that from anything.
Oh, you're just guessing.
That was
I
his
have
guess.
13-1, which was our lone conversion of the night. 3rd and goal from the 1, false started. 3rd and goal from the 6, did not score. 16-7, 6, which we converted off of roughing the passer. 2 plays later, we threw a pick. 19-7, 11, 23.
Yeah, so third down was a huge struggle. You cannot consistently convert long third downs unless you're UCLA, which we'll get to later in the show. But yeah, that was a huge struggle for us, was third down consistency, which goes to poor pass blocking leads to getting hit behind the line and getting yourself in long distances. And then the last point is offensively, we had a lot of struggles that we can attribute to injury. Defensively, we looked great. for the first like 2.5, 3 quarters. Definitely for the first half. I mean, we held y'all to 7 points, and the one touchdown you scored, you had 2 false starts. Like 2 guys moved very clearly. And I mean, I'm going to poke you about that. It's not actually that big a deal. We ended up losing by a good bit, but like we should have held y'all to 0, or at least I don't know how that drive would have played out, but y'all had a false start. So the one touchdown you had to Casey Concepcion, false starts, so we go down 7-3, but we played great in the first half. I think the interception was in the first half.
It was.
And I mean, our run defense was good in the first half, but the war of attrition of our offense constantly, like I said, not converting third downs, a lot of 3 and outs. I've got our drive chart. I'll walk you through it. 3 plays, minute 49, punt. Actually, this is the drive chart after the 5.5 minute drive for the field goal. So after that drive, which was our second drive of the game, we go 3 plays, 149 punt, 3 plays, 141 punt, 4 plays, 124 interception, 3 plays, 28 seconds punt, 5 plays, 219 punt, 3 plays, 150 punt, 3 plays, 124 punt, 1 play, 13 seconds fumble, 4 plays, 120 touchdown, and then 4 plays, 134 punt. So we had one drive go longer than 2 seconds after that scoring drive we had, and the defense just couldn't like continue to go out there and fight that losing battle. Watching the offense consistently go 3 and out, and they just couldn't get rested. And we scored the touchdown. I think I turned to you or to Grant, and I was like, yeah, we scored too fast. Like, it didn't actually matter because I think we were still down 2 or 3 point possessions at the time. But I was like, if this were a game, like, this is actually like, I mean, we scored too fast. Now our defense is going to go back out there, and they're going to be so gassed. They just aren't going to be able to stop y'all. So those are kind of my big points. We did a lot better about penalties, especially considering where we were. I have it put up.
3 for 35.
3 penalties, but how many? I don't think we had any of the pre-snap penalties that have really.
You had the big one on first and goal.
Yes. Okay.
Or
Thank
your
you.
3rd and 1 on the.
Yeah, but
goal
the
line.
other that was our only offensive penalty was the one false start on the
Good
goal
night,
line.
Jay Whitty.
Good night, J-Dub. Thank you for joining us for a few minutes. Like the video, like the stream. And then defensively, we had the 2 big ones and an unnecessary roughness, which was a little
Soft.
It was soft. He shouldn't have hit him, but it's a little soft.
It didn't matter. A&M didn't score on that drive.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then the pass interference, which I don't remember, but the pass interference was. But
100% pass
yeah,
interference. Well,
y'all end up with 9 penalties.
Yes, Kelly Jones
it was.
Yes, it was.
tackled him to the ground.
So, yes, and if he turned around, he had a great.
GG, Josh. I won in the league. The only league I care about out of the 2, so I'm happy.
That's good copium.
Yeah, we have 3 penalties. Y'all have the 9. The over under 18.5. The under hits, which was tough for me.
Good work, JP. We were all over that.
Jack and JP both took the
Yeah.
under on 18.5.
That was light work.
Easy.
But yeah, I mean, penalties, great improvements there. But yeah, that's my 5-minute monologue.
I was say that was a really good biggest takeaway from the game.
My bad.
You're good. We were gonna get to it all anyway. I just thought it was funny. JP, your biggest takeaway from the game, or anything else stick out to you? I know you came away from the game upset at the offense.
It's really refreshing, and honestly, an unbelievable positive that Jeff Levy, the head coach at Mississippi State of the football team, has reacted the same exact way that I have reacted to the game. In that complete frustration with the way it went offensively. And he was adamant about that in his post-game press conference. And to go from Zach Arnett, who essentially his answer almost every single week, which was almost a loss pretty much every single time, was, we just got to, figure out if we're going to play the right way, We just got to, go back out there on Saturday. We got a tremendous opportunity ahead of us, and, we're just going to have to figure out who's going to play the right way. And to go from that into Jeff, where he is taking full onus on him, showing full frustration, and not like frustration in a negative way, really again, it's another game of he feels like we should have won that game, and I know State fans feel that way as well. The negative plays was a big thing he harped on immediately. State had negative plays of a 6-yard sack, a 7-yard sack, a negative 7-yard rush, a negative 8-yard fumble recovery, a negative 6-yard catch, a 12-yard sack, a 7-yard sack. Most of those on first and second down. So it just puts you completely behind the 8 ball. It takes away what you had been doing so well, especially on the drive that you scored running the ball, because you can't do that on 2nd and 16 or 3rd and 17. And then the number of snaps the defense played. You know how many times A&M rushed the ball?
Like
58.
51 times.
Yeah, that'll do it.
51 rushing attempts. And so they play. The defense was electric for 3 quarters, and then the 4th quarter got to them, and it was just the tackling wasn't there. But how could you when you have to tackle them for a 50th time in the game? He expressed the same feeling that a lot of State fans have of if we could, like quite literally, if we could have just got one more count, one more millisecond almost in the pocket, maybe it's a different game. Chapin would have hit the touchdown to Brendan Thompson instead of an interception if he has one more second, but we couldn't get that. But Levy took onus, saying like it's on the play caller to protect the quarterback, and that was something I really was happy to see, because that was one of my biggest takeaways. Was it just didn't feel like, I don't think we chipped once. Try to chip a pass rusher once, and that's normally something you do a ton, or even just bring in a tight end to really block full.
I know we did. I don't know if you didn't get to see. We have the advantage of replays. They showed some replays, and we tried bringing tight ends, and it did not work.
Yeah.
There was the one we had a tight end. It was the left tackle and a tight end, and the left tackle takes a step back. The edge rusher feigns going outside to the tight end, and the tackle follows him and like kind of runs in the tight end, and then he just cuts back inside, and the tackle just does like a little 360. He got put in the spin cycle.
Cassius House.
He ended up running into our tight end instead of like using the tight end to like push the rusher into him. He was like, "Oh, I need to like." He was playing like the tight end wasn't there, and ended up getting beat pretty badly.
Cassius House scary. You got to.
Yeah, I do agree that like that day we tried it. It was the right approach to try that. At one point, we had 3 guys blocking 2 with the help of a tight end. Didn't work. So the thought was there and the attempts were there, but
Levy
with second
Levy
string
followed it up
Yeah.
immediately after that by saying, we have to be able to block with 5 if we're going to score 7. And that's what he said. And that's the truth going forward. It just kind of, like you said, Jack, I felt felt a ton of frustration after the game for the defense to hold A&M on the road to 0 points till 3 minutes left in the second quarter, and then you got beat on one play. Kelly Jones got beat back-to-back plays, and it's 7-3. But in reality, like with how the mantra kind of is right now of Showtime and Levy being an offensive coach, giving up 7 points at half on the road in the SEC, like you
Pretty
should
phenomenal.
feel really good.
Yeah, if you had told me going into the game that we would have given up 7 in the first half, I would have taken that 100 times out of 100. I would have feel like we had a really good chance of winning that game. But yeah, that I agree.
So I have frustration is
Sure.
the biggest thing, because it just Chapin's getting guys pushed into his lap, and then I'm with that post-game press conference. I'm frustrated at our reporters, and I'm also frustrated a little bit at our fan base. One of the reporters is asking, was there ever a consideration to put Kamario Taylor in there for a series?
Terrible question.
That's just a BS question. Levy did a great job at pushing that off by saying that he didn't feel like there was any reason to bring in Kamario for running packages. Just there wasn't a moment for it. The only moment they had, of course, we false started. So frustration is the biggest thing. I will say, I knew I was going to have a good time going to the game, and I had a great time going to the game.
I'm glad you did.
I want to reiterate what I told y'all last night. It's like there you see the 12th man, home of the 12th man side of the stadium all the time. If you watch an A&M game, they show that view with all of the towels spinning in the student section there. It's way better in person, and it was really sick. And at Kyle Field's great, and it was another. I really enjoyed it as well. Again this time,
I'm glad.
would not have not gone had I known that was how the game was going to play. Regardless,
Yeah.
it was an excellent time.
Makes sense.
Fluff Bothwell injury. I saw people complaining about having starters in or having the check down thrown. Both those are bogus.
Freak accident.
Well,
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Given the time in the game, so Levy uses his 3 timeouts to save time for us. We were down 3 scores at the time. No, I think we were down 3 scores at the time. So, we weren't necessarily out of it. We were on the positive side of the 2-minute warning as well. So we were still going for the win, and I actually I would like to praise Levy for still trying to go for the win. All things considered, even with how bad the offense was playing all day, he's still he's using his timeouts to try and save time and give ourselves a chance, not giving up. I actually praise that more than if he had just sent the backups out there, because like you said, freak injury. It's unfortunate, but we were trying to win the game still.
And even if we weren't trying to win the game because it's 3 scores with not a whole lot of time left, that's a crazy environment, and that's great practice. And I get that, whatever. It was a great opportunity to have our first team try that, because in 2 weeks, we could be down 3 at Florida. And Florida, I don't know what the capacity is there, but the Swamp can get bumping. I mean, it was bumping against Texas. I expected it's going to be loud because it's an SEC home game. And so to give your guys most of those guys haven't had played together on the road in an SEC team. Brennan Thompson hasn't played with Blake Shapen. Anthony Evans, his first year here. You're starting young guys at O-line. You've got, at the time, Fluff Bothwell, who hasn't played SEC road games. This is a great opportunity to give them a chance to learn this, to experience this, so that if we're down 3 at Florida, they're not doing it for the first time. So I have zero problem with leaving the starters out there.
Sure.
And yeah, I mean, it's crazy unfortunate.
I will say I'm glad that you show frustration, because I've seen a lot of State fans revert to oh, well, we're a bad team. So A&M fans, why are y'all celebrating, for example? And it's why are you diminishing your own team and what they've done this season? I know the result wasn't great in it being 31-9, but they did go out there and fight. So why? I don't know. It's frustrating to be to see people dogging on their own team and just trying to brush it off as it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think it's stupid to not be frustrated.
Agreed.
I don't. There's no reason to go down specifically the 2 avenues and only be on one of those 2 avenues of our team sucks. We're terrible. We're terrible. Terrible. Blow up everything. Start Kamario Taylor. Fire Jeff Lebby. There was a fucking burner account that posted that Jeff Lebby was Joe Moorhead. Essentially, they were equal, and it just insane. Jeff Lebby beat Arizona State this season, and he's clearly got this program going in the right direction. And then there's been the other avenue of, which I don't agree if you're going to fully go down this avenue, that Jeff Lebby's burner has specifically gone down of, that he's just happy that we have a pulse again.
Yeah.
That I understand that, but you only get 1 season a year, and we've had tremendous opportunity in front of us the past 2 weeks, and we haven't taken advantage of both of those opportunities, and so there's no reason to not be frustrated.
Maybe he's
Agreed.
just going for your approach of lowering your expectations.
I understand that, but I just don't think it can be the only. I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't think it can be the only thing. I have lower expectations, but
You still want to win the game.
I would love to win the game, and when the past 2 weeks we haven't won the game because we haven't been able to execute things you have to execute to win. That is what frustrates me a ton. Last week, just handing them 14 points, inability to protect the football. And then even this week, still an inability to protect the football. Like, the 2 fumbles, like, what is going on? The one we end up recovering, but, like, you can't hand the ball off on the road. Chapin loses 8 yards on it. Anthony Evans, you just basically pitch it to the other team. Like, those 2 things, it's stupid.
The Anthony Evans one comes late in the game. Maybe he's trying to do too much by
Yeah,
himself.
you should just get down.
Break too many tackles. Like, he's just putting the ball at risk, trying to break a big play that's just not going to be broken.
Well, what happened there is he just never secured it, essentially. He catches it, and then he leaves it out in front of his hands, and he bobbles it as he turns upfield. Catch it, bring it in, and put it in the slot, protect it. And then the shape and interception really frustrates me because I don't know if y'all could see it on the broadcast angle. It was a touchdown.
Yeah.
It was going
Sure.
to be a touchdown to Brendan Thompson.
I mean, that's why he was pissed. I don't know if you saw the clip like after or anything, but he went to the offensive line and was basically screaming at them and like.
And Levy knew it too. He mentioned in the post-game press conference, I was standing up, and I only looked at Brendan Thompson, and then the next thing I hear the crowd cheer, and I look and see that the ball was somehow intercepted. So I had no clue the ball was even deflected.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for Brendan Thompson to go catch it. And so you could be in one of the paths, but I think you got to be somewhere in the middle as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I'm in the Levy's burner path of I am happy that we do have a pulse again. What a blessing it is to be. But for me, it's what a blessing it is to be frustrated with losing a game you feel like you should have won again.
Sure.
Yeah. And now, I mean, the season's not over. Bowl game is still attainable. We still have Arkansas on the schedule. That's probably the most winnable game left. Ole Miss at home. Who knows what can happen in bowl games? But Texas at home, Florida on the road. It depends on which Florida shows up, which Texas shows up. There are still a lot of winnable games.
I'm gonna have to find my way into the Texas game.
There are several winnable games left on the schedule.
We'll get you in there.
Okay, bet.
So we're not like there. I'm having to fight off the temptation of like looking to next season because like I'm really excited about what the team could be, but I don't want to get lost in like a healthy Fluff Bothwell, Lebby investing in the O-line for another offseason, year 2 of Kamario Taylor, year 3 of Luke Cromanhook in the system, or year 2, year 3 Cromanhook, like just not knowing what next year's going to look like, but also like getting excited for that, but not losing myself in that excitement because we still bowl game is still on the table for this year.
A lot of
The
opportunities
Liberty
left.
Bowl is still there. On the A&M side, I don't know. I thought y'all played well. I think clearly did not play your best whatsoever, especially offensively in the first half. I know everyone in the building is shocked when you get stopped on the goal line like that.
Well, it hurts.
Le'Veon Moss gets hurt on that series, had to limp out like right before your first and goal, and Ruben Owens couldn't punch it in.
Yeah, it really hurts that Moss goes out, but you still want to see the O-line take control there. I think it was on this maybe I think it was the second down play, but it might have been the third down play. We pull 2 guards and they run into each other, and so it's like that play is just dead at that point because where the running back's supposed to go, there's just 2 guards that have just hit each other, so there's no hole. So just stuff like that. And that's talking about being frustrated. That's the biggest frustration with A&M right now and A&M fans is the lack of just consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
From just play to play, but especially in games, right? And even like with Marcel, the first half, it was like last year Marcel Reed again.
Yes.
He's hitching. He's got happy feet in the pocket.
Yeah, he did not look good.
And then he comes out in the second half, and obviously everything was easier for him. We were getting guys in space better, but he just looked more confident. He was more poised, stuff like that. So it's just like, why can't we be that from the jump?
I think it solidifies what this year is right now, at least, that's the 5th best team in the nation right now.
Yeah.
By the AP poll ranking that just came out today. And I'm pretty sure we're all going to have A&M in the top 5 as well.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
think so,
just
probably.
it's crazy because it normally feels like that top 5 team is so consistent and they have a blimp here and there. But now it's those those kinds of teams can
Sure.
be inconsistent. I mean, the teams in the top 10 right now are Georgia, who looked inconsistent against Alabama, and quite frankly should have lost the Tennessee game. That you have Alabama, who's in there. Indiana didn't look necessarily great against subpar competition. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How is it up at the top? But it really only it feels like 3 teams separated themselves.
Exactly
so-
what I told A&M people this whole weekend.
Yeah.
'Cause they kept being like, oh, we're good, but like, I don't think we're top 5. And it's like, someone has to be 5.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe it shouldn't be us, but make an argument for someone else that is just played, at a high level week to week. Because A&M has played at a high level in moments. But yeah, it's just,
Absolutely.
I completely agree with that. Major props to the defense. I know State was beat up, but to hold y'all to 9 and 3 in the first half, and especially when the offense is sputtering, for the defense to just go out there, hold y'all to 1 of 11 on third downs,
That's
take
big.
advantage of the battered O-line, catches
Agreed.
Howell gets 3 sacks, other people are
100%.
getting active. To take advantage of the turnovers, I mean, Damian Stanford had the easiest pick of his life, but
Yep.
he does make the play. Dalton Brooks, easiest fumble recovery of his life, but he is there to make the play. We only missed 5 tackles on the evening, and we held y'all to 2.2 rushing yards per play, which sacks go into that. And a lot of it was y'all didn't really have opportunity to run, but just a
Yeah.
great performance from the defense. Very, very happy with that side
Agreed.
of the ball. It was just very well done, and that's back-to-back great performances from the defense. So
And the fan base is fully into it. That was the 5th
100%.
largest capacity crowd ever for Mississippi State. So congrats on winning y'all's Super Bowl.
Telling you, that was the one guaranteed SEC night game we got this season. And
Yeah.
we made the most of it, which now we have one next week against Florida confirmed.
Huge.
Which will be
chalk DJ Lagway.
be fun. But we've had, I think it was 7 of our 12 largest crowds have been in the Mike Elko era.
Wow.
Something crazy like that. Like, the fan base is fully bought into what he's doing.
As they should
And
be.
speaking of how Jeff Lebby talks in a presser, I love the way Mike Elko talks in a presser compared to Jim Bob Fisher with
Yeah.
this whole, we got to execute, we got to execute, we got to execute.
Did he mention? Did you listen to his post-game press conference?
Clips. I've not gone and
Okay.
watched the full thing
Did
yet.
he
I've not had
mention the
time.
Cabo Fund? Because
I don't know, man. I hope he did.
What y'all raised? What $50,000, $55,000
It was
in penalties.
the way that game started was torturous because we had all the penalty issues last year. He says that, and I think we had 3 penalties on our first 4
Yes.
plays or something like that, and it was just like, holy crap, it's bad. But yeah, I just want more consistency from the offense is the biggest thing, and I don't know if we're going to get it. And then really the other big thing with the offense, the last thing is, especially in that first half, and I don't know what the reads are for Marcel, right? But he takes a lot of downfield shots. There is not a ton of easy stuff. And then in the second half, we're motioning Craver and motioning Concepcion and getting guys naked and just easy pitch and catches
Yeah.
and then, yards after catches there. But first half, it's drop back, sit, just launch the ball downfield 30 yards and see what happens over and over again.
I think I can speak to it having seen it.
Sure.
And I basically had an all 22 view from where I was sitting, so
Yep.
it was very nice. I mentioned it last night. I feel like so much of his game is just taking what's being handed to him on a silver platter. Like
Sure.
you mentioned, especially in the second half, it was, okay, we motion Casey Concepcion all the way across the formation, and we just follow him as he runs an out route, and we hit that. Very easy to do. Oh, we get the pass protection for a few seconds, and then we just throw it deep to Mario Craver. Very simple and easy to do. The intermediate passing game is clearly not there, and I'd also say I don't feel like the short passing game is really there as well. Like the y'all do a great job at the extension of the run game and the screen game, and you should because you have Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion. But at also just like simple stuff, like simple little short 6-yard completions, I don't think they do enough of. When you have guys that are as fast as Mario and KC, if you could use them on a little 6-yard in route, throw that twice, well, then you can really set up the double move later on in the game. And it doesn't feel like one, it's not being called, but two, it didn't feel like that's something that Marcel might be capable of throwing consistently. And you can see that at times his accuracy can be very poor on throws like that.
It comes and
it's
goes
how he
for
gets
sure.
his picks. That's how a ton of his picks are they're just really bad throws, really inaccurate throws. So I love that he loves to throw it deep, and he should with the weapons that he does. But what he's missing right now is he's missing the ability to get the easy ones that just can keep the drive going.
Yeah.
And keep you out of where he is the worst, which is 3rd and 7 plus.
Yeah.
If that could be worked on, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country because he's so damn fast, and he throws a very good deep ball when it's there.
Yeah. I am happy he used his legs a little more last night.
Absolutely,
Because
he was great.
I don't know why that wouldn't be a big part of his game. And then I do think he throws a good deep ball, but it's just sometimes he gets excited, and so that thing just like he just launches that Jimbo, and it's like just throw it. I don't really know what the difference between throwing and launching it is, but he just like gets excited or something, and that thing just he throws it before it needs to get thrown. He's got a way to beat, I guess. And then last thing I'll say we can get out here is I love Le'Veon Moss. Brody gets hurt at the worst times. Like just not even talking about his like seasoning injury last year, which was a terrible time to get hurt, but like goes out first and goal. He just like he has anxiety issues, which like I completely understand. I'm not dogging on that, but then he'll just disappear for half a quarter because he's throwing up on the sideline, and it's like Ruben Owens is not bad. Le'Veon Moss is a different animal. Like
Absolutely.
we need that guy. We're a different offense with him, so I would just love if he could continue to put together 4 quarters of football because he really hasn't done that much this year. Anything else on this game before we move on?
No, nothing really. We can talk about both these teams next week more than likely. Obviously, State.
Yeah.
But congrats to the Aggies.
Thank you. It was a fun game. Congrats to y'all.
Yeah,
Y'all came and fought.
I mean, a better performance than we had 2 years ago.
100%.
Not a better start to the game, but a better first half. Absolutely.
For sure.
Can't really have a better start to
Yeah.
the game than last trip.
I wish I had texted that earlier. The moment I thought of texting that, it was like 3 minutes left in the first quarter. I was like, nah, the joke's kind of passed. But
Yeah, if you had texted after kickoff and been like, uh-oh.
well, worse start than we had last year.
Yeah.
State's in trouble.
That would have been good.
But the blackout they did well. Everyone wore black for the most part. I disagree with the people that thought they should have black towels. The white towels made it look cool.
I think you want them to pop, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you go keep the
Agreed,
white.
100%. And the end zones didn't look as bad as they did in the photos that we saw. You couldn't really tell.
They didn't look like they weren't. I mean, it's hard to get something to be 100% black, but like you could see like
Sure.
little bits on the.
They were definitely better than the
It was
picture
hard to
that
see
they
in
Definitely
posted.
better.
Yeah.
Definitely better.
Yeah.
But I agree. I do. Yeah.
And it's also I was like looking for it because of the photos. So like that's like if you aren't looking for it, you wouldn't have noticed. But I was like I think I can see the block letters like
Sure.
very faintly.
I'm glad you enjoyed. It's kind of a thing of pride of being like, that's my team, that's my stadium. I want people to have a good time there. But let's get into the Technical Foul fan game of the week because I think this will be a
Don't start the intro till I
okay.
change the photo.
a quick segment.
Which one? Both? Did I make both? I made Texas Tech at Houston. I made both. Army UAB.
Yeah, the actual Technical Foul fan game of the week. Army goes to UAB. It has a pretty dominant performance, just kind of more the same for that program. They win 31-13, run the ball really well, and force 2 UAB turnovers. And so they're +2 in the turnover margin on top of running the ball really well. And that's just a pretty great spot to be. UAB throws the ball a good bit, over 200 passing yards, but just not enough. And so they go down, and Army's now 2-3. They pick up their first non-Power 4 win of the year. Thoughts on this game? Really anything?
Do we know who led the team in passing? Because that'd be. I'm pulling it up now.
Their
Cool.
quarterback.
Their quarterback. Okay, cool. That's
Well, technically it's their second string quarterback because Dwayne Coleman is their starter.
Yeah, they play them. It's weird. You never know.
So
who's
Cale
gonna do what.
Helms led the team in passing. He had one completion for 43 yards, or 41 yards.
He led the team in rushing yards as well,
Yeah.
and 3 touchdowns on the ground for Cale Helms.
What a box score. Army football is just so funny. The fact that they had 5 pass attempts as a team and put up 31 is just, it works. Shout out to them. No, I have nothing else on this. Unfortunate for the model. The model picked UAB to win outright, I believe.
Did you have the? Did we had all had Army here though, so we were all
We
right.
did all have
It was the
Army.
only game we all got right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Bad.
Oh,
week
something
for
to
me.
address, by the way, fans. Sanders celebrated too early and is now no longer first in the pick'em.
Yep.
A big week for me. I went 5-1,
Insane. I
and
went
so I'm now
1 and
sitting in
5.
first place after a disaster
At
start.
the-
But I'm not going to celebrate too early. There's a long road
we're
ahead.
not even halfway through the season.
I got to lock
No.
in and continue to deliver on my picks, and I hope to do so down the line. But
Yep, I went 1 and 5 this week. JP 3 and 3. That's
yeah.
500 week.
Speaking on betting, we also had our first winning week
massive bet tonight.
for JP's bets of the week. I told you to take Patriots +9. I should have told you to take Patriots money line. The Patriots beat the Bills tonight, and with that, and Kent State covering 44.5, which it wasn't even close. Don't go look at the score. There was not any nervous moments as Oklahoma led by 44 with 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. But Kent State was able to pull it out.
I was right about Kent State not scoring though.
You were.
Yeah, that surprised me, to be honest, when I
I mean,
saw
it surprised me after we walked through how many points they'd scored
that.
against
Yeah,
other
everybody
P4
had scored
teams.
double digits.
Yeah, I was very shocked to realize that they didn't score.
The
That's
Michael
funny.
Hawkins effect, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's 2-1 on the weekend, first winning weekend of the year, and that puts us at 8-13-1. So we're well back on our way to 500. But also, I'd like to subtle flex say that I'm doing well sports gambling, even though my best bets are not going well and my individual picks are not going well for either the NFL or college. So I'm doing better than it's being displayed in terms of record.
Yeah,
right
all
now.
of his public stuff he's bad, but the stuff that like
And he's
My
not
private
lying.
picks
I
are
man,
promise.
we crossed
Yeah.
that we crossed that Louisiana state line and JP didn't speak for about 45
I
minutes.
made $350 this weekend.
Pretty great.
Huge. Very huge.
7 units. So it was a good week, and I missed one of my bets that I put almost the most money on, which was State plus 16.5. So
That hurts a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's tough.
Anything else?
You should have cashed it when we were up 3-0 or whatever.
I wish I could.
Not-
But Texas is not a legal gambling state, so
Yeah.
Really?
you're only allowed
No.
to cash out. 1, you're only allowed to cash out in the state that you placed the bet in,
Oh,
and 2, Texas.
I mean, Texas doesn't have casinos.
Yeah, they don't have anything.
okay.
So it's.
But underdog is legal in Texas.
Correct. That's because that's technically daily fantasy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy loopholes.
Shout out Daily Fantasy. That was a massive fan game. Great analysis. And real quick, we'll hit on Houston. Did unfortunately lose in the cage to Texas Tech. Really hate to see it.
According to allegations, they got cheated.
Sorry for Chromie. I will say that the kick catch interference rule has to be changed,
I agree.
because if you're gonna bobble the ball and then it pops up in the air, it's not even like it's just moving a little bit. It's fully in the air, like at head height, a
Mhm.
foot out in front of him. And then he gets hit because they're trying to get the football, and then he just gets bailed.
Also, the
It's
guy
so
that hit him
stupid.
was pushed into him, allegedly.
I didn't see that part. But
Yeah.
Connor Weigman got hurt.
If it wouldn't be a strip and angle ball, it shouldn't be a kick catch
I agree.
interference.
I like that rule.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, Connor Weeman got hurt as well.
Like if you don't catch the ball, why do we have to let you catch it?
Which, after watching for a couple years at A&M, I can't say I'm too surprised he got hurt.
Yeah.
He's a bit injury prone, but a tough night. But they'll be back. They're in good hands, to say the least.
Agreed.
The
with-
Houston rebuild.
With Hobart Snock and Willie Fritz.
Yeah, with Hobart Snock as the head coach. The three of us and our friend Chromie, one of the viewers who was in the chat earlier, we stayed with him because he lives in College Station. Had a great night. Stayed till 5 a.m. rebuilding
Wow, you're just
Houston.
going to dox him like that. That's crazy. They're literally showing up to his house right now.
Nope, what? Anyway, stayed
Said he
at
lives in College Station.
oh my
Public knowledge now.
stayed till 5 a.m. rebuilding Houston because he's been the biggest Houston supporter in the chat It did not win the championship, unfortunately.
We ran out of time. It was there.
We did run out of time. We were in the playoffs year 3 after losing to Florida in year 2. Who we got some big names out of the portal. I can't remember who off the top of my head.
Des Ricks
We
and
got
Michael Hawkins, both people that I mentioned on the show.
Did we get Ruben Owens?
And Ruben Owens.
We got Ruben Owens.
Kamario
Got
Taylor.
Kamario Taylor. Got Michael Hawkins.
Yeah.
So we tried the rebuild. It was about to happen. So we basically marked it as a national championship for Houston
Sure.
in all of our hearts. But yeah, that was a fun. We played the game. I think we played from like 11 o'clock until 5 a.m.
It was a long session, which you can't.
And
be
then we
mad
got
at.
in another hour and a half the next morning.
It's such a good game. Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, awesome game.
All right, let's go to Virginia at Louisville.
Let's do it. Your Virginia Hokies.
That's
That's, I mean,
Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Cavaliers,
The
sorry.
Hokie. You just called us by our rivals.
if it
name.
wasn't 11:23, I'd tell you to leave.
Yeah, I appreciate. I was about to defend myself saying that exact thing. Your Virginia Cavaliers, Jack.
Massive win on the road for the aforementioned Virginia Cavaliers. They go to Louisville and win in overtime yet again for the second straight week, 30-27. Louisville gets the ball first in overtime, kicks a field goal. They get down to the 3-yard line, and Chandler Morris goes down and has to come out from the game. And so it's there, and I believe it was third down. It was like they have
Third
to.
and 1, yeah.
Everyone knew they were going to run the ball, and they run the ball, and it doesn't matter that Louisville knew they were going to run the ball. They pick up the 3 yards and win. Chandler Morris is fine. They said he could have come back into the game if, after that. Say they get the first down, but they don't get the touchdown, he would have come back in. But it was a little scary because he took a shot.
It's the perfect way you want to play overtime. 4 positive plays, 14-yard pass, 2-yard run, 7-yard run, 2-yard run for a touchdown.
Yeah. Great ball. A huge win that was arguably their toughest game left on their schedule.
Yes.
And it's yet another ACC win. Didn't necessarily go how I anticipated in that, we talked in the pregame, oh, Chandler Morris probably will turn the ball over a couple times, but you just have to live with that. He didn't really have much success through the air, and the Virginia offense as a whole really struggled.
Yeah.
But they get 2 defensive touchdowns, a 47-yard pick six on I don't know what Miller Moss was doing, to be honest. Bad decision, and then
He was trying to look a little Mahomey, and if it
Yeah.
had worked, it would have been Mahomey.
it did not work. And then a 67-yard, I believe, scoop and score,
Yeah.
and that really was the difference.
100%. Virginia had 237 total yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad.
So the 2 defensive touchdowns helped them out a ton.
It's just
They made it to the red zone one time.
yeah. If I'm a Louisville fan or Louisville defensive player, I'm pretty pissed because this defense has established itself as a great unit, especially on that defensive line. Virginia ran for under 3 yards per carry, which Louisville did as well, so that's not great either. But they're always going to be more of a passing attack team. Just absolutely thwarted UVA's offense. UVA's longest offensive drive in the second half was 26 yards.
Diabolical.
But they win the game because of the 2 defensive touchdowns. So shout out Virginia's defense for coming to play. It's not the unit that gets the most love on the team. They're considered an offense-first team. But they went on the road. Defense travels.
Defense has kind of helped them both weeks.
Yeah,
Defense
100%.
kind of won it against Florida State last week.
They're becoming a very opportunistic group at the very least.
That's exactly what you want. If your defense isn't going to lock down, you want them to take advantage of the big moments.
Agreed.
And just play complementary football all across the board. And winning games like that really, really help you because winning is hard.
Yeah.
And if you have to go out there and win, 8 games in the ACC and win these games yourself, it can be it's hard to do that 8 times. But when you're handed games like this and you take advantage of big opportunities, it helps you a ton in the long run. Like Tennessee is going to benefit a ton from the fact that they were able to win here at State because now they continue to stay in playoff consideration. They continue even to stay in SEC championship consideration. And they were not playing good football that day, but they were able to win, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And for Virginia, this is going to help them a ton because now it almost feels like it's a 3-man race in the ACC, at least at this point, and it's really just going to be a battle of who's going to lose first.
Yeah.
And those three teams being Miami, Georgia Tech, and Virginia, who are all three undefeated. None of them play each other. And all of them, Virginia, I think, is going to be the only one that's not favored in all of their games going forward, and that would be at Duke. But for these three teams, they're going to be favored in 90% of their games going forward.
Yeah, agreed. And like, not only will they be favored, but all of them have shown they can win close games, like you said about UVA. But Miami's done the same, and Georgia Tech has done the same. So it's college football. One of them will choke a game away at some point, I'm sure. But they've shown they know how to win all three of them. So I really can't wait to watch that race. I don't think we would have had Virginia as the third team in that pairing in the preseason. It would have been a Clemson or maybe a Florida State.
Definitely not.
Or an SMU.
I'm going to go look and see what their preseason odds were.
Yeah, it's
Please
crazy.
do.
Like, and the fact that they miss playing each other, like Georgia Tech, Miami, and Virginia, not Louisville. Georgia Tech, Miami, Virginia. None of the three of them play each other. It's crazy. What do we got, JP? Preseason odds.
Their preseason, they were the fourth worst odds in the ACC at plus 12,000 to win the ACC.
That's crazy.
Teams that have better odds than them are, of course, Clemson, but Virginia Tech had better odds. Boston College.
Disrespectful.
They were the fourth worst odds.
So $100 makes 12,000.
Correct.
Man, I'm gonna go put some money down on UVA at those odds.
To be fair, as good
120x.
as they've looked, I don't necessarily like their odds in a potential Miami championship game matchup.
No.
Yes, agreed.
Did they have odds to make the championship?
I'd have to go deep search for that.
No, you good then. It's all irrelevant.
But that'd be something you'd cash out once they got to the ACC championship game.
Very true. But yeah, big win for UVA. I think it's like I haven't been respecting them, and I think that this was a secondary, not a big. They'd made the statement last week beating Florida State, but then they get a win on the road. I think is another win, and those things kind of stack up. You start to make a name for yourself for UVA. Definitely will be ranking them higher this week because that's a gutsy win for them. But for Louisville, I mean, the path to a successful season is still very much there. You got to go to Miami, but other than that, I had their schedule put up. I think you go to SMU.
Virginia?
No, not Virginia. Louisville.
Oh, okay.
Louisville still has some opportunities left. Clemson at home, on the road at Miami, on the road at SMU. You finish at 10-2. Maybe you get an outside shot as a playoff bid. You finish 11-1 with a win over Miami. Absolutely in the playoffs. So Louisville season is far from over. And they've looked good being undefeated through the first 5 weeks. So,
sure, it is just like I get it's like far from over. This feels like a missed opportunity because if they win this game, then we're having the conversation we just had about Virginia, about Louisville.
Yeah,
but they couldn't get the job done, and so now it's try to regroup and still try and have a successful season. But you got to be just killing yourself about the 2 defensive turnovers.
Yep.
Anything else on this game? I don't have anything more.
No.
Cool. Let's go to probably the most talked about game of the week.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of pre-game antics, the week leading up, all the back and forth talking. Vanderbilt goes down to Alabama, and it's game day. Thea Vaughn was the guest picker, which did not go very well. He also shot his shot and got shut down, which hurts. But as he tweeted, shooters shoot, so you kind of have to respect him at least, because he is right. Shooters shoot. He seems unfazed. And the game starts, and Bama's driving. Ty Simpson throws a pick on 4th down, kind of a bit of an arm punt situation, but not the best decision.
I don't even know. It was a terrible decision. He did not see the underneath defender whatsoever. He thought he had Cuevas kind of wide open, but it also was just like it felt like a bad play call. Your Alabama, Jam Miller's running the ball well that entire possession. It's 4th and 1.
Got maybe a little cute, and it burned you.
Yes.
And then Vandy comes right back down. They're running the ball well, and then they rip off a 60-yard run and score, and it's like, holy shit. They may do it again. But Bama showed that they have some grit, and they do have some resilience. and they come back. They punch right back. It ends up being a close game in the halftime, and then Bama's just defense takes over in the second half, and they win 30-14. A couple costly turnovers by Diego Pavia here and there, but I will say Bama scored a late touchdown with like 20 seconds left. This was a pretty close game.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this game, guys?
No, it was a really good game. I enjoyed it a lot. Diego Pavia did like the 2 turnovers. It was the red zone success and the red zone struggles
Sure.
for Vanderbilt that really defined the outcome of the game. Vanderbilt has 2 red zone turnovers. The first being a Diego Pavia fumble near the goal line, like inside the 10. That was really unfortunate. It takes away a potential scoring opportunity, touchdown opportunity to go up. I think at that time it was either a one possession, like it would have been a huge touchdown, and then
on the fumble.
Yeah,
I believe it would have gone to 14-0.
Yeah, so that was a huge opportunity to really like make a larger lead, and then end of the game, one possession. I think this would have been to cut the lead to like 23-21. Pavia throws an interception on 3rd down, and it was like a crosser, and the linebacker just jumps it and bodies the wide receiver and wins it at the catch point, but wins it, intercepts it. Really unfortunate because that's another one where if you don't get that there, you kick the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're down 23-17. Like it's a one possession game. That's
Sure.
big. Doesn't end up mattering because Alabama scores again, but a really devastating turnover in a 2 possession game where you could have cut it to 1. So I think it was a good game, and Alabama won, as an Alabama hater, and, Tucker is going to hold me accountable and make me say all the nice things about Alabama. Alabama looked really good, but Vanderbilt is a very different team than they have been in the past. And I think that's also, I realized I have Vanderbilt unranked in Alabama at 10. I don't know if that's right or not. Anyway.
Not even close.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Vandy was 16. You just didn't put a 16 next to Vandy.
Well, this is me, praising Vanderbilt for being different. I just
and
didn't.
You just cooked them like
yeah.
that. Strike for the graphics coordinator.
Yep.
All good.
Did it in the car with a computer that was on 3%. So, tough.
Brutal.
Anyway, Alabama won this game. Alabama was the better team. Alabama looked really good. Vanderbilt also looked good. Vanderbilt hung in there in Tuscaloosa. And, they fell short of all the trash talking and the cockiness and the swagger, but they looked good. They're going to be dangerous for whoever else they play throughout the rest of the season. And Alabama's got a shot at winning a national championship, but also, you were almost down 14-0 to Vanderbilt at home. Like, they're still vulnerable. They've still got weaknesses, as all but 3 teams do right now, we think. So it was, I think, a really great game between 2 teams that were pretty evenly matched, which is surprising given, like, if you look at the talent or the coaching or the investment. Like, it was a fun game.
Yeah. I'm very proud of Bama, as, they're my preseason national championship pick on this team, to go handle the game as they did. They go down, but they bounce back. Ty Simpson, aside from the pick early on, was great yet again. Continues to just be such a great leader for this team, something I think they were missing last year, and potentially even in the first game of the season against Florida State. But they just get the job done. Even like late in the game, they go on an 8-minute field goal drive to just soak up clock. Mm-hmm. And that was the big difference. Like, you think how the last year's upset played out. Vandy ran the ball a ton, and they controlled the time of possession.
Yep.
37 minutes time of possession for Bama, 18 runs for Vandy to 5 passes. That's just like that's not what how Vandy wanted to play this game at all. Mm-hmm. So it ended up being close, and Vandy punched early quick. But Bama really controlled this game and played this game how they wanted. Even the second half drive chart for Vandy is punt, pick, turnover, and downs, end of game. Like, just great job from Alabama to regroup and go win this game and kind of shut down some of the smack talk. They were a little quieter pregame this time than even like the Florida State game or maybe even the Vandy game, last year. But they let it be known after the game that what their thoughts on Diego Pavia. And fair enough, you went and won the game. Diego Pavia couldn't back it up, so talk your crap. a lot of weird post-game interactions, I will say, with Pavia and the Alabama fan.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel
Johnny
is
Manziel was-
flipping off
that was
Bama
bad.
fans. I don't know what he's doing there. Bama fans saying Diego Pavia's a bitch after winning. Like, crazy that we're at this point where this is such a contested rivalry, but it's pretty fun. It's what makes college football pretty special. So
Agreed.
Really unfortunate backdoor cover for those of us who picked Vandy to cover.
brilliant for me. And that tells you right there what that game meant to Alabama and how pissed they were that they lost last year and how disrespected they felt
Yeah.
about the trash talk pregame.
Yeah. I had, I don't remember what, I had Alabama minus 16.5. No, not 10.5.
10.
Yeah.
Minus 10.5. It's 23-14, so Alabama's ahead by 9. I'm sitting there watching it. Chromie also had them, had Vandy covering. And so we're sitting there like, bet Vanderbilt turns it over on downs. Alabama's going to drive. They're going to get a first down, take a knee. They hand it off. They get the first down, and literally like a smile crosses my face. And then he just keeps running. And then it was just like shock and horror. So really unfortunate backdoor cover for Alabama there.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't bet that game with my money this weekend, even though I picked it. I feel like this game, and as well the Texas and Florida game, and so far throughout all of SEC play, it just encapsulates what we're in for. That we are gonna, a game with Vanderbilt and Alabama in Tuscaloosa is gonna be close. It's gonna feel close. You're gonna say, "Oh shit, they're gonna do it again." Stuff like that. Vanderbilt let this one get away. Like that, if you're gonna go on the road and win in Tuscaloosa, you cannot fumble the ball in the red zone with a chance to go up 14-0 when you have full control of momentum at that point in the game. Alabama has got down the field, threw a pick, got down the field, missed a field goal. You have to take full advantage and control of that moment.
It would have completely taken the crowd out of it. Like they
Yeah.
were already quiet. Like you might have had a couple fans who were headed for the door at that point. It would have been bad.
And then I also think, like Sanders was saying, that game also showed that, like, well, maybe the talent profile may not matter, because when they get out there on the actual field, it actually kind of feels like these are the same kind of bodies and the same kind of caliber players, and they play with the same kind of energy. That's how it's felt for State so far. Like in the Tennessee game, you didn't look across. You looked across the sideline, you saw a big dude in Chris Brazell and a big dude in Joey Aguilar. But when the game was played out, everybody was kind of playing at the same level. Our second-string DBs were sticking with Tennessee wide receivers for much of the entire second half. So it's makes you think about what craziness is going to continue going down the road. That even like Florida, they're done, dead in the water. Billy Napier's supposed to be fired, and they go and beat Arch Manning and Steve Sarkisian in Texas. Like I think we're.
Well, we don't know how much that actually means.
I think it means a lot, considering how good Texas's defense is and has been so far this season. For DJ Lagway to pick his britches up and lead Florida as well as he did, it just, again, this is I think the third straight week now that I've mentioned it. It feels like we're due for some awesome games going forward, and every SEC game is worth watching unless Kentucky's playing in it.
Poor Kentucky. I agree. Last thing I want to say on the Bama side, getting Jam Miller back has been huge.
Mm-hmm.
He rushes 22 times for 136 yards and a touchdown, average of 6.2 yards per carry. The physicality he brings to the run game has just been massive for them. Yeah, just getting him back, he's just playing very, very well. It's clear why he was running back one going into the season. And it sucks that the injury happened, though he only missed 4 games, and it's not like I don't really think that would have changed the way the Florida State game ended up going, how it played out.
Yep.
But I'm just glad he's back, and he played very well.
Hey, a positive, last thing, like positive game for Bama. You fight through your oh shit moment. You win a game against what is, like we were joking about, quickly become a rival in Vanderbilt, and it felt like a Jam Miller got going again. Your receivers got going. Ryan Williams had a good day. Jeremy Bernard had a good day. And Ty Simpson was able to build out of that hole. I think that's a big question. That they ran a hole early against Florida State, and it did not go well for the rest of the game. So I think Bama, that's got to be a confidence builder going forward. But I just hope it doesn't also become okay, we should now win every single game going forward.
Sure.
Absolutely not. Not there yet.
No, not at all. They've still got some things to clean up. The run fits are still suspect at times, for example. But regardless, a huge win, and you get the monkey off your back in a sense. In Vandy, you can move past all the noise and chatter around this game and keep moving forward. But anything else on this game before we move on?
Nope.
Negative.
All right. Let's Miami at Florida State.
Is that our last one?
It is.
Heck yeah.
A clash of Florida ACC teams. Miami goes to Florida State. Huge ACC clash. Florida State is trying to bounce back from their loss at Virginia. Miami is trying to stay undefeated. And Miami finds himself up 28-3 before Florida State makes a late-game run and gets it close, but they do end up losing. Miami wins the game 28-22. Thoughts on this game, guys?
Yeah, I think the turning point was when you had the Florida State tries to get tricky. Tommy Castellanos looks to the sideline, claps, turns, catches a snap, immediate pass rush. I mean, Miami, they stayed ready. It was actually really impressive by Miami defenders because Florida State goes into that, I'm going to look to the sideline and get the new play call thing. They go for the trick play, and Miami is just immediately all over it. They get like 2 or 3 guys to Castellanos. He has to step up and just heave a bad ball that's intercepted. And then Miami, with that, turns around and runs their own trick play. They run the flea flicker for a touchdown. And then I don't remember what they go up, but I mean, maybe
That was to put them up
14-3,
I
that was
believe.
to put them up
14-3.
14-3.
14-3. And I think that was a really unfortunate because it was 4th down for Florida State.
Yep.
You could punt there, put your defense back out there, give them a good field position, kind of take advantage of the field position battle. Instead, Miami's got the ball at the 50.
It was 3 of those really big momentum swings. All 3 of the Florida State turnovers were bad in that. In the first one, like you said, they are faking get the second play call. Tommy puts in his
Puts his name in the hat.
He puts his name in the hat for worst interception of the season by a college quarterback. You just can't.
It's low. It's at the bottom of the hat, but it's in the hat.
You're picking one at some point. Like when we get to the end of the season, we'll
do a highlight reel.
You're
We'll do a highlight
unveiling
reel.
a top of the season.
We'll reveal the top 10 worst picks of the season or something. I don't know. But I like that. Yeah. He puts his name in the hat. And then flea flicker, touchdown. Miami up 14-3. Then you have the awful fumble, in my opinion, where running back, it wasn't a peanut punch or a chroma. It's not a peanut punch. The defender just reached his hand in there and just kind of swiped at it barely, and he fumbles the ball. Just like not protecting the ball. The ball was Florida State has the ball at midfield. They're driving. It's the first play of that drive after they won the field position game, and then Miami would score a touchdown immediately after that, but it gets called back on an illegal shift play. But it's a huge momentum swing again. And then the other one was another really bad Tommy Castellanos pick. In plus territory again. Miami scores a touchdown later. So I'll let you continue, Sanders. But the momentum swings, there were 3 of them. All 3 of the turnovers really hurt Florida State for much of the night.
No, that was my big point. And then my second point for Miami is it bothers me on Twitter when people don't not apologize, but own up to being wrong. I was wrong about the Miami wide receivers. I said it after week 1, and I'm just gonna say it again because they had great nights last night in Malachi Toney and C.J. Daniels. Was it Daniels that had the touchdown celebration where he does
He did it twice.
But
Yeah, both of his
the
touchdowns.
second one was the one that went viral because it was like the dagger. He does the Florida State Seminoles chant, and you can hear it over the TV broadcast. Malachi Toney, 7 receptions, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. C.J. Daniels,
Both 40-yard plus receptions.
Yeah, Miami
5
explosive plays. Yeah, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, and then C.J. Daniels 5 for 78 with 2 touchdowns as well.
They had 47-yarder to Daniels on a post route, beautiful throw by Carson Beck. the flea flicker for 44 yards to Tony, the 50-yard touchdown for Tony that got called back to an illegal shift. You had a 40-yarder. You had a 22-yard run for Marion, and then the 24-yard touchdown, the dagger that went viral to C.J. Daniels. Like, Miami, outside of that, wasn't necessarily great offensively. They just hit literally every single one of their deep shots down the field.
Realistically, you look at a lot of the numbers for this game, and it looks pretty evenly matched up, but it's just the stuff we brought up in the explosive plays and the turnovers that cost them, which, I'm going to toot my own horn here, but I feel pretty good about my key points for the game because it was get Tony and C.J. Daniels involved, and then also if Tommy has to pass the ball a lot, he's going to put the ball in harm's way. And he threw 45 passes. He was 25 for 45, and we talked about his turnovers. So that's just – it's not his game. And I get the Miami defensive line is just that good. I mean, Hakeem Messidor and Ruben Bain are probably the best – not probably. They are the best pair of edge rushers in the country. It's no debate. It's a tough test. But that's just a lot to ask of Tommy Castellanos, so I'm not surprised it didn't work out for them. But it doesn't really feel like a game Miami dominated, just play in and play out, because they didn't.
Yeah. Did y'all know Malachi Tony's only 17?
I did.
Let's not forget
I
that.
knew he was a true freshman. That's all I knew.
Yeah, he's only 17.
They haven't.
And yet
was
he's
that
not-
mentioned on the broadcast at any point.
He might have
Yes.
reclassified, I think.
It was
it mentioned like Ryan Williams got
No.
mentioned
not as
last
much,
year? Okay.
which bothers me
Yeah, that bothers
because
me
I
too.
hated how much Ryan Williams was
Yeah.
mentioned. Every time he was targeted,
Yeah,
only 17, only
the
17.
17-year-old
And I just
instead of calling him by his name.
And so now the running
Stuff
joke,
like that.
now the running joke with my family is every time he catches the ball this year, we're like, "Did you know that he was only 17 last year? Only 17. Can you imagine?" Anyways, Malachi Tony is also only 17, also having a great season.
He's so fast.
Grading out, I believe, is the best wide receiver on the team right now. So, yeah, best wide receiver on the team, 84.8 receiving grade.
Yeah,
So-
he reclassified.
Yep.
So he should be playing high school ball right now.
Mhm.
He should be playing on Fridays, not Saturdays.
Yep.
But that's just not the case. Is his brother actually Kadarius Toney?
I was about to ask that. There's no way.
I couldn't tell
Because
you.
I looked it up, but and I'm getting things that say yes, but it's also sources that I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
gonna
like Miami burners.
trust.
I can get the
this.
Colts at -6 versus the Cardinals. Oh my God. Thank you.
Well, he is not related,
Okay.
but he does have an NFL connection.
Only other Tony I can think of is Tyler Tony from Dude Perfect.
Well, that would be
that would
wait.
make,
Tony's
that would make
father is
sense,
former
too.
wide receiver Antonio Brown, but not that Antonio Brown. The Brown that played for the Buffalo Bills in 2003 and the Redskins in 2004 and 2005.
Wow, that's crazily misleading.
Yeah. That's also what I was trying to look for because I saw it pop up earlier that his dad was Antonio Brown, but I was like, well, that can't be true.
It can't be true.
It could be.
No, Antonio Brown's 30.
No, he's only 30.
I think he's just into his 30s.
Even if he's like 32, it's not. But also, like, we would have heard that.
Yeah.
We would have known if
Antonio
he was
Brown's
the son.
37.
Okay.
37.
Yeah.
So
So,
that
does-
so it actually, it's possible.
It's
It
very
is
possible.
no, it's not. It's not.
But-
Well, he would have had a kid at 20.
yeah, but no, it's not because
we would have known.
Yeah.
We would have
We
known
already
if he was the son
cross-checked
of
it.
Antonio
We
Brown.
know-
37.
He'd be playing
I
at
thought he was
Central
old when you were
Michigan
telling
right
me he's
now.
only
Holy
30.
fuck.
I was like, wow,
Yeah, that is nuts.
37. Pfft,
It's
whatever.
another big win for Miami. I will say I still don't really trust their late game stuff. I mean, Florida State goes on the big run. They score 19 unanswered.
Yeah.
So I think I've said it on this podcast before. I still feel like Mario Criswell may cost them a game at some point. He just kind of gets conservative.
Well, you want to see him play from behind, which
Yeah,
it's
fair.
now some great teams just never play from behind, a la the Eagles.
Yeah.
True.
But they have not played from behind at any point this season. In fact, they did not trail in the Notre Dame game. I would assume they did not trail against Bethune-Cookman, South Florida. I know they didn't trail against Florida.
They did trail a little bit in Florida State, but it was by
and they
3
trailed
in the
by
first quarter.
3. So that's the first
That's
time
not
they've
really
been
playing
trailing
from
all
behind.
season. They won't be tested. I don't expect them to. But like I was saying on the car ride, they are going to have to really be ready because they are about to go on a bye week They had a bye week before the Florida State game. And then they will play 7 weeks in a row, including the last 2 at Virginia Tech, at Pitt, which are both cold weather games at that point in the season. And then for them, God willing, they make the ACC championship game. They will play an 8th game in a row, also on the road. And North Carolina, that game is usually cold and bad weather for the ACC championship. So they got to gear up and really get ready after this bye week. And then it's 2 months all the way to try and be in a good spot for the playoff. And for them, they can't have the slip-up like they had last year, because that's what cost them, was the slip-up against Georgia Tech. And because you're playing ACC schools, that loss looks a lot worse than it does if you lost to Florida like Texas did this weekend. So they've got to be ready, and they've got a long stretch ahead of them. And I guarantee we'll see them play from behind at some point.
Yeah, and we were just talking about how big play offense-centric, how big play-centric their offense is. That's a lot harder to do in, like, Virginia and North Carolina when it's sub-30 and late November. So we'll see how the offense handles being on the road later into the fall.
100%. But huge win for them.
Yeah.
Regardless, I don't want to end on that bit of a downer. Massive win. Same for we talked about with Virginia. That was the hardest game left on their schedule, and they've passed the test. So shout out to them. But that's the last full game recap we're gonna do. Any other weekly takeaways?
I mean, there's one we have to address.
I would say there's 2, but
there are 2. Thank you. I'm gonna start with the big one. Penn State comes off their loss to Oregon in the whiteout in double overtime. Kind of heartbreaking. It was the game that they needed to win. It was James Franklin's opportunity to hush all of the haters and the doubters who said he could win big games. He gets the opportunity of a lifetime. Oregon coming in to play in the whiteout. You've got the team that the 2 of us picked to win the national championship. It's experienced. It's talented. It's got a quarterback. It's got transfer wide receivers. It's got the best running back duo in the country. It's got edge rushers and denied Dennis Sutton. Like, it has everything a team needs.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing at home. They lose that game, and then
not just playing at home. They had a bye. Oregon didn't. Oregon had to travel across the country, and James Franklin talked about travel as a potential excuse for this game. So, like,
no excuses.
Everything was there. No excuses.
Yeah. And so now you lose that game, and the next day or Monday, James Franklin tweets, Nittany Lions, I need your support. Let's go 1-0 this weekend. As he always does, we found out, did our research.
He tweeted it again today for Northwestern, and I need to go read the comments because that's got to be a good time.
Jesse, Josh Pate's producer, Jesse, who I follow on Twitter because he's actually pretty funny too, has been going through it over the last 48 hours. I won't get into that, but do encourage you to go follow Jesse something. He's pretty funny.
Producer Jesse.
Producer Jesse.
That's his tag.
That's his handle. Thank you. He's
handle.
Yeah. They go into UCLA. In a game that they were supposed to win pretty easily. UCLA's looked bad, so bad that they fired their head coach, and they lose. In a game that really doesn't make sense until you start to. There are a couple things that do make sense when you look at them. First of all, being UCLA's third downs. The third downs were just insane. So UCLA start the game going 8 for 9 on third down.
Pretty good.
That's
and
insane.
3 for 3 on 9+ yards. So, I mean, I'm going to say it again. They started the game 8 for 9 on third down, and the first 3 third downs where they had 9 or more yards to go, they converted. Nico Maliava had a good game. Kwasi Gilmer, who I have in fantasy, and I started this week because I had 8 players on bye, also had a good game. The offense coordinator, the promoted offense coordinator, whose name I don't remember, but he looks kind of like, I know who he looks like. He looks like the blonde guy from Shrek.
The shorty?
No, not the
lollipop.
No. The mean blonde guy. Is it Shrek when he gets turned into a... No. Hold up.
Prince Charming?
No, is it Prince Charming?
Jerry, how are we saying
the
that
guy
last
that's
name?
played by John Krasinski? I just think he looks like Jeffrey Dahmer if he put on glasses.
That's a tough comp, but I don't necessarily hate it. Jerry.
He also does not look 31.
Neuheisel is how I'm going to try and say his last name.
Yeah,
was who
Prince
did it.
Charming.
And it was his first time calling plays. He talked about how he didn't know how to work the headset, and sometimes he'd go to put in the play, and the mic would be up, and then he'd have to realize he had to basically redo it. And if you're that it makes the loss that much worse for Penn State.
Didn't he also say they had what was it? 2
2
days.
days.
2 days.
2 days. That's right.
This
To
was,
learn go over everything,
Yeah.
learn the new. I don't know.
This
I don't know
was
if it's a new system, but 2 days to get ready.
this was the ultimate frick it we ball game.
Yeah.
From UCLA. So shout out to them for that.
Shout out to their fans. I heard all 50 of them storm the field.
They did not. They did not. They did. Some try to come onto the field and it didn't work. But it was
Well,
not
there
a
were more
full-
security guards than fans in the stadium,
That's
so it
probably
makes
true.
sense that they could stop them.
UCLA managed to have a whopping 39 minutes and 17 seconds of possession to Penn State's 20,
Yeah.
and just also put up 446 yards of offense against Penn State.
What was
It's just
I'm
bad
going to
all
pull
around.
up Drew Aller's stat line because I am curious how he had how he played.
19 of 26 for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Any interceptions? No.
No
No
picks.
interceptions.
The offense put up 37 points.
Yeah, that's crazy given the issues that I don't know what to say with that. There's not a whole lot of analysis I can provide on this game because it doesn't
it's
make sense.
it's an inexplicable loss. It's
But it was just a game that we need to talk about. Like I said,
and
Quasi
it's not a full game breakdown either.
79 yards and a touchdown, 5 receptions. I mean, that's 14, 15 points. In college fantasy, that's a huge week. I hope that continues.
I mean, just
Nico Iamaleava had 16 carries for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns.
dual threat.
Wow.
The-
Thank you, Abby. We do our best. It's only midnight, and we're almost done.
We are getting there. This is the game that James Franklin always wins, and it helps lessen the blow of never winning the big game.
Yeah.
But the heat has ratcheted up for sure. The stovetop's on high under his chair, under his seat.
Which is just so crazy that we find ourselves here saying that he's on the hot seat or getting close to.
I mean,
I don't think that's crazy. That's been kind of the conversation every year.
the fans are chanting "Fire Franklin" before
Yeah.
he loses this game.
Yeah.
And then he loses on the road at UCLA, the team that we just were debating if they were going to go 0-12 on the previous show,
Yeah.
which obviously they're not, but was legitimately not a crazy conversation to have. Congrats on yourself, by the way.
Yeah. Me and Jack now hold useless UCLA to go 0-12 stock. Gonna frame it.
I burned mine.
You burned yours? I
Yeah,
was gonna
I
frame
put it
mine.
on the
On the
stove to
James
help
Franklin
heat up the James.
stovetop.
Yeah, to
Penn
help heat
State
it up.
was minus 2,000 money line favorites for this game, by the way.
That's just insane, man.
That's one of those bets.
It got worse. It closed at minus 5,000.
That's one of those bets when Josh Pate says, make one bet for win one bet for a free $200. You bet on Penn State to win that
Yeah.
game money line.
Yeah. It's 5 into 300. You would have Penn State money line probably would have been the bet this weekend, or Ohio State money line versus Minnesota.
Yeah,
Sure.
that too.
That's someone definitely did that. There's just no way.
They were
no
like,
one-
I want my $300 in bonus
Yeah.
bets, so I'm gonna put 5 on. Yep, tough for them.
But
Um,
just shout out to UCLA. It was
yeah,
for a team that's been so terrible and a program that's been so terrible. It was like the most read story in ESPN. It meant a lot to the few diehard fans that are left of that program. So just happy for them. The other big upset of the day, I guess, though it just pales in comparison to the Penn State one, is Texas going down in the swamp and losing to Florida. Sunbelt Billy just coaches better when when his job's on the line.
yeah.
And let's pick up a huge win, and we're beyond just troubling for Texas offense at this point. It's not just an Arch problem. The offensive line especially just looks really poor. They struggle to protect Arch. They struggle to run the ball at times.
sacked 6 times. If you take away Arch Manning's runs, which a ton of them were scrambles, they had 15 rushing yards on 11 carries.
It's downright terrible. And then also, this has been a terrible Florida offense, and this has been a great Texas defense, and they give up 29. And I wasn't locked into that game the whole time, but from the drives I watched, it was Florida looks faster. Florida's finding the edge in the run game. They're finding receivers. Receivers are making big time plays. I will say. The Dallas Wilson was fantastic. The other guys were great.
I'm starting him next week. I don't care if he's playing him. I'm starting him.
Speaking on that, I mean, they had a Hobart Snock level opening drive, 13 plays, 84 yards, 7 minutes, touchdown.
They passed the ball like 2 times on the drive or something?
Yes. The next time they touch it, it's 10 plays, 64 yards, 4 minutes, field goal. They're up 10-0 after the first quarter. Texas touched the ball once in the first quarter. Another scoring drive is 10 plays, 77 yards, 5 minutes, touchdown. They put together scoring drives. And it's something you can't not be shocked at, because we just saw Florida in prime time 2 weeks ago against Miami
not function,
and they could not. What are they? Was it like 3 first downs the entire game or something? It was something.
And it was the week or two before that against LSU where they had 5 interceptions.
Yes, DJ Lagway throws 5 picks against the LSU defense, and this is a defense that's on par, at least at this point, with Miami and LSU, and they were able to just put together drives. It's insane. You can't not be shocked from this. There's just zero chance you can't. And it's not just like you're shocked. For me, it's not a shock that Texas lost.
Yeah, because I'm not shocked Texas lost.
Yeah, it's a shock that Florida played like that.
Yeah,
agreed.
They went out and beat Texas, not Texas beating themselves.
Yeah,
100% agreed.
And that's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
You got it.
Like I would push back a little. I don't know if I'd call this. I mean, it was an upset by ranking, but Texas just hasn't looked all good all season. And I think Josh Pate said it. If you switch their schedules, it could have very well been Texas that was 2-2 and Florida that was 3-1 or 4-1.
The spread was only 4.5.
Right. And so these teams are both. I would say they're almost identical. Highly talented teams with quarterbacks who were highly touted coming into this year. Both Heisman favorites. Up there in the Heisman favorite odds. And then they both just have not looked good all year. DJ with his 5 interceptions against LSU. Arch with his injury rumors and people saying, oh, here are the highlights of him in high school. The tallest player on the other team was 5'3", and weighed 115 pounds. This is why Arch was a 4-star or a 5-star. He was a 5-star. Was he the number 1 quarterback? He was up there. He was great. Or ranked
5-star.
highly.
Yeah.
And so I would say that they're almost identical teams. Texas just had an easier schedule outside of Ohio State, playing every small school in Texas: Sam Houston, UTEP, UTSA, UT, all
or
of
not
them.
UTSA. They played San Jose State.
Yes, and then
instead.
UTSA, and then Florida plays Miami. Florida plays USF, who they should not have lost that game. But there's a possibility Texas in that game loses that game. USF they went out and balled and they won it. Texas has put up doo-doo games against lesser opponents too. So I think they're the same team. So that's what I'll say to this being an upset. And then
I feel like it definitely was an upset though, in terms of if the average person looked at that game, they immediately went, Texas has that game. That's Texas game, and doesn't really think twice about it.
yeah.
It definitely was an upset. It was not a massive upset, but
Yeah.
that is that's a big result in the swamp, and it shakes things up in a big way in the college football landscape.
Yeah, and then another thing that I'll say, Arch does not see the field well. It's even when he has time. There's one throw specifically where he does it a lot of times he got pressured and would scramble, but there's one where he steps up in the pocket and it's kind of good, and then he just throws the ball to the safety. He had time, he had the area, the room to get in the throw and try and make a good throw, and he just slung it to a safety. And I was like, there was no one in his face. There was an open wide receiver and he just missed him. This is if you're at the nuclear reactor controller, everything's hissing, all the lights are beaming.
Yeah.
You see people running around with hazmat suits, evacuation alarms are going off. It's bad. I was really surprised that we didn't see a backup play, because I do think we're getting to the point where Arch is a large part of the problem. I get there are other parts that are part of the problem, but I think Arch is playing bad in his own right. I don't think you give Arch a good O-line. I don't think that He's missing open wide
He
receivers.
made a couple
Do you-
mistakes. I think that was Arch's best game of the season.
It was still a bad game.
I think he played fine. It was an average game. He missed some guys. He was getting destroyed all night. He hit a couple deep shots. He hits Parker Livingston down the seam, and then Parker Livingston loses his leg for it, basically.
Yeah.
Hits Ryan Wingo in the end zone. He's not playing great, but in that game, at least, he was not bad enough to warrant putting a backup in behind that O-line.
But the number of ones he missed, I don't know. He just missed too many to be a starting quarterback for Texas, in my opinion. He had the one, so there's the one where he throws it to the safety, and then there's the other one where he steps in the pocket, it opens, and he steps up, and there's a guy just streaking towards the left corner of the field. He's beat his guy by 3 yards, and Arch just tucks and runs. I think that, like, when you're tight end, I think it was his tight end, has his arm up, like, calling, like, hit me over the top. You've got to see that as a starting quarterback.
I mean,
When there's no, when the waters have parted and you are stepping up to, like, try and check for a downfield shot before you take off, you need to see that guy instead of just taking off.
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to defend him and say he plays great. It actually brings me, as an A&M fan, joy that this is what's happening to Texas currently.
I agree.
Yeah.
As a Manning hater.
Sure. But just like, I don't think he was, there's just too many other issues. A backup is going to come in and have the same problems.
I don't think it would have made sense to either.
At least make the change and give the backup some reps in practice or something.
Yeah.
And also, if you just go off the data you had at this point in the season, in the first game of the season, you were struggling against Ohio State. You had, 42 passing yards going to the fourth
Something like
quarter. And then Arch kind of locked in, and he got up to about 200 passing yards and played well in the fourth quarter. They had the ball with a chance to go take the lead in the shoe. So you have seen that already against superior competition on the road. I think Sarkisian would think that he was expecting that to not that he was expecting that to happen again, but he knows his quarterback is capable of doing that. And it's Arch's team as far as I'm concerned, as far as they're concerned. So it's a big part of it too. Like, you don't take Shapen out at the end of the State A&M game because it's Shapen's job. It's Shapen's team. And then also their backup, Matthew Caldwell.
He's not good.
He's not that great.
He's got one season over 1,000 passing yards. He's got one season with double-digit touchdowns, and it was like 13 to 8 touchdown interceptions.
He's played at Jacksonville State, Gardner-Webb for 2 years, and Troy. Across those 4 years, he has 21 touchdowns to 15 picks. So yeah, nothing.
But do you think that's where they'd go, or do they go to the 4-star redshirt freshman?
I just keep playing Arch because
Yeah.
at this point, I think you would play Arch again next year.
You can't. You
Next
also
year too.
you can't.
Uh-huh.
Not that this should be what makes your decision, but Arch is a Manning, and he came in to take this job. If you bench him, I think you're going to catch a lot of heat for it, and it's going to potentially hurt recruiting, and it's going to hurt a lot of relationships in the space.
Yeah.
It's just gonna really be a long-term poor decision, in my opinion. Like, the Manning family, they're gonna be pissed.
Yeah, 2 points on that. One, this isn't going to go like Josh Heupel and Nico went, where everyone's going to be behind Josh Heupel if they, for whatever reason, Arch transfers because of relationships there. That's just not how this is going to go whatsoever. Inside that fan base, inside that state, that donor base, like, it's just not going to go that way. And two, to back up Arch, he's looked bad in the other games. I don't disagree with that. But the 2 losses, at least, are against 2 elite defenses on the road, and he's starting in his, 6th or 7th college football game ever. So he just doesn't have that experience built up whatsoever. So I'd given some time. We all expected him to be great. Like that.
Not we all. I think he's going to be average.
I think the expectations for him to be great were completely understandable.
Agreed.
Because of what he had shown at that point, and because of the name on the back of his jersey. And so he hasn't lived up to that whatsoever. But give him some time, because I don't think it's his job still, clearly, and He's young. And the two bad games, the two losses were against Florida's defense on the road in the Swamp, Ohio State's defense on the road in the Shoe. I don't think a lot of quarterbacks play well in either of those scenarios.
No, most don't.
Has he? But he's played terrible. He's lost all of his draft stock at this point, at least. The people that put him as Heisman favorite, and Dan Orlovsky, who said he's the most talented quarterback on the planet, are obviously those are the ones you should go after, not necessarily the people that I'll say. Like, I just expected him to be great because of who he is and where he's coming from.
Who he is, where he's coming from,
what he's shown,
where he was at. I mean, that's Steve Sarkisian,
Texas,
supposed QB whisperer, and Arch had sat there for multiple years.
Like,
it's
I
weird.
feel that way with Tiger Woods' son, Charlie Woods, right now. Like, I just expect him to be great because he's Tiger Woods' kid, and he's shown that he's been good, and he has Tiger Woods as his golf coach. Like, all of those things just kind of back him up, and
Sure.
it's like you would just expect it to happen. So it's disappointing that it's not for Arch right now at this point. But it's still, I still think it's his job going forward, and he's still got a chance to grow a ton. But credit to you, Sanders, for saying he wasn't going to be good, and he has not been good so far at this point in the season. Texas is unranked.
Yeah, I don't remember my exact take
I
on
think
him.
you
I'd
said,
have to go
I
back
think you
and
said
watch.
good, but not great.
Yeah, I'm not going to be like, oh, I saw this coming. I just remember definitely being the lowest in the three.
You were
of us.
100% the lowest.
Have
of
you
the
seen
three
the
of
spread
us.
for Oklahoma, Texas?
4.5?
Mateer's out, right?
Mateer's basically out.
We're assuming
What do you think it is?
it's Oklahoma at home.
It's the Cotton Bowl.
Oh, thank you. So it's at Dallas. Is it at the Dallas Cowboy Stadium? Is that right?
Jerry
No,
World?
it's at the Cotton
Oh, yeah,
Bowl
duh.
at the State Fair.
That's right.
It's in Dallas though, technically.
Oklahoma will be favored with no. You said 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're saying Oklahoma favored by 4.5?
Oklahoma's
It's Texas
favored.
4.5.
It's Texas -3 right now.
No way. What?
That at least one of my lines.
What are we doing?
The ESPN line.
They're saying no Mateer's a big deal.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. They scored 44 with
ESPN
Michael
line
Hawkins
is
at quarterback.
2.5.
Didn't
Texas.
didn't cover. All right. Any other big takeaways, or should we get onto the stock
Were there
market?
any other big games?
Just any other takeaways in general?
Let's get on to the stock
okay.
market.
Okay,
please.
stock market.
It
It's
sounds
only
great to me as
12:15.
it's 12:15. Only 12:15. All right. Okay, we're going to revisit this first one because we talked about it last week, but they ended up picking a big win this weekend. We also were wrong, and that's UVA will make the ACC championship. Because when we talked about it last week, we thought the NC State game was a conference loss. Turns out it's not. And on top of that, they won their hardest game on the schedule left.
Mm-hmm.
So, are y'all changing your mind? We all sold, I believe.
Yes, because of the one loss was
Yes.
for me at least was a big factor in that. So I talked about it earlier. We've kind of laid it out to where, at least at this point, now there are teams like SMU has only played one conference game and they're 1-0 in the ACC. But it feels like right now at least the three teams that are ranked in the ACC are Virginia, Georgia Tech, Miami, all undefeated
As we all
in
predicted.
ACC play. Yeah, obviously as predicted. None of those three teams play each other, meaning there's not a loss guaranteed between each of them. They could all be undefeated in the ACC at the end of the year. And Georgia Tech and Miami are going to be favored in every game they play the rest of the year. And Virginia won't be favored in every game except when they go and play at Duke, who is also, I might add, undefeated in ACC play at 3-0. But they have to play at Georgia Tech and they have to go to Clemson. So nothing is guaranteed for them. It's not as easy of a schedule as it is for the other three. So you're basically picking, do you think Virginia goes undefeated, makes the ACC championship game, while Georgia Tech also loses a game, or Miami?
Sure.
I'm going to sell.
Sure.
I think it's going to be Georgia Tech and Miami at this point.
Dang, if Georgia Tech could only have lost to Wake Forest, bro.
That would be, or they should have lost.
Yeah.
They got handed a dub thanks to officials, which is unfortunately a common theme in football. But I think it's going to be Georgia Tech in Miami, and I just trust those teams a little bit more at this
Fair.
point. We've already seen Virginia lose an ACC game against NC State, so
Sure.
who's to say they won't lose again? But for me, it would be a hell of a story if it was Georgia Tech, Virginia.
That'd be sick.
That'd be cinema.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I think I'm also going to sell just because it kind of comes down to I think there's 3 other teams outside of UVA that could make it. You've got Georgia Tech, Miami. You also have Duke. Duke is currently 3-0 in the ACC, and their 2 hardest matchups they have left are both at home. They get Georgia Tech at home in 2 weeks or this week.
Well, yeah, I mean
in a week.
that's a home field
Yeah.
environment
On
that
the-
really swings games.
Yes. Oh, sorry, in 2 weeks. So they get Georgia Tech at home in 2 weeks, and then they get Virginia at home November 15th.
They do have to go to Clemson.
They do have to go to Clemson, but I think that right now Georgia Tech and Virginia are their 2 hardest games left. They're 2 top 25 matchups. You're going to say that Clemson is a harder team to play right now than Georgia Tech and Virginia?
I don't
Yes.
think it's just like Clemson has been so bad, but I'm not gonna feel good going into Death Valley and trying to win that game.
Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking like Clemson is defeated, whereas Georgia Tech and UVA, Georgia Tech's undefeated right now. They've got swagger, like they've got energy, excitement, and then Virginia is going to be going into that game potentially with an ACC championship appearance they're fighting for.
I
So,
don't disagree that Virginia and Georgia Tech are big games. And
Yeah.
it helps to have them at home. But I think Clemson should be added in on. I think
That's
it's
fair.
3 tough games.
That's fair. Anyway, they have 3 tough games. 2 of them are at home. They've already won 3 ACC games, and what we're seeing right now with Ole Miss in the ACC is Ole Miss is one of the favorites just because they've already played so many more games than everyone else.
Yeah.
That's the advantage that Duke has right now, having already won 3 ACC games to Georgia Tech's 2 and Miami's 1. You just have less games that you can lose left on the schedule. So that's because of that, I'm going to take the field, which will be 2 out of 3, Duke, Georgia Tech, Miami, maybe SMU. But yeah, I will take the not UVA. So I'll sell.
All valid points. But I have at least a reasonable. I'm in a spot where it's reasonable to buy UVA making the ACC championship, and those are some of my boys.
Let's see if I can find odds.
So give me UVA to make the ACC championship. So I'm going to buy that stock all day long. I should have bought it last week. I shouldn't have been a coward, but here we are. Man, it sucks. I should have just locked in.
Odds to at least win the ACC, they're the 3rd odds-on favorite at plus 850.
Cool.
Wide margin between them, Georgia Tech and Miami.
Not so-
Miami is big-time favorite. Georgia Tech, Virginia, they're all about even split, and then it's Duke.
Cool. Okay. Next, buy or sell. A bit of a subjective one, I guess, but Brendan Sorsby is most improved Big 12 QB. He's playing really well, in my opinion. They knock off Iowa State on Saturday in a huge win. He's been playing well. 12 touchdowns to 1 interception. Completion percentage sitting in the mid to high 60% compared to last year. He can run the ball a bit. It's much improved. But is he the most improved Big 12 QB in y'all's eyes from last season?
I don't think so. I think it's Morton, Bedrin Morton, from Texas Tech. I think he's playing really, really well. He's slinging it all over the field, and he did that this weekend against Houston. He had some poor moments against Utah in that game, but if you go and watch his other games, he's been slinging it really, really well, and he's been the engine of that offense for the most part. While Sorsby's playing really well, I think Morton's the most improved. And also, I wish if Bachmeier had played last year, then it would be Bachmeier for
Yeah.
me. He is playing really, really well.
He's looked really
and
good.
he's making BYU an exciting team going forward the Big 12 as well.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to buy. There's no reason not to buy. I can't really be wrong here. But he was kind of the definition of mid last season, just wasn't in a great situation. Struggled with turnover issues. But it's just clicking there for him right now. massive improvements. I've been a fan.
Yeah, I'll also buy, but another name I want to throw out, just to kind of honorable mention, Noah Fafita, having a good season so far. Last year has 18 touchdowns, 12 interceptions with 1 rushing touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
This year, through 5 games, he's already got 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and then 3 touchdowns on the ground. So I haven't watched a lot of Brendan Storsby play or Noah Fafita, but Noah Fafita has a down year last year with Tedder McMillan in his last year. Just a lot of disconnection there. But having a quiet bounce back junior year in Arizona.
Avery Johnson, too, I think, has a chance to be in this conversation.
Good old Avery Johnson, man. Tough loss for them on Saturday. Weird game, by the way. Baylor's booing their team.
There were no fans in the
and
stands.
the fans were leaving,
Yep.
and they come back and win,
Yep.
which is just so Baylor. But
Yeah.
makes me, I don't know, just bad fan base. I just hate Baylor, man. That's I'm just leave it at that. All right, next buy or sell. Texas or Penn State makes the college football playoff, so you just need 1 or 2 to make it.
Yeah, it's a hard sell for both those on me. Maybe not a hard sell. That's
Let me
probably
get
too
odds on
strong.
that.
That's probably too strong at this point. We are still not even halfway through the season. Actually, one team is. A couple teams. Memphis is halfway through. They're 6-0. But we're like right at halfway around the season. Halfway through the season.
Sure.
Gonna sell. I think they've both already got 2 losses. Penn State has a bad loss now. Texas, arguably, depending on how the season pans out, could have a loss to a 6-6 or 7-5 Florida team. That's not a great loss. So yeah, I will be selling on both of those.
It was just one stop.
Oh, so I will sell.
You just
neither of those will make the
if,
playoff.
if you buy, one of them has to make it.
Yes, I will sell. Neither of those teams will make it. That's not me. That's you.
Go ahead.
You're going to sell?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sell.
Yeah. So Penn State is plus 680 to make the playoff, which translates to about a 10% chance. And Texas is plus 225, which translates to about a 33-ish% chance to make the playoff. So both of those teams well under a coin flip. Obviously 2 losses. I just don't think... Because Penn State, to make it, is going to have to run the table, beat Ohio State, and then they're in. If they're looking good, I guess. Texas is going to have to run the table in the SEC. I don't get how Texas has better odds than Penn State, honestly.
I don't either.
They play in the SEC, so maybe they have better opponents left on the schedule that they can have.
Maybe a 9-3 Texas.
Maybe that's what they're thinking. Maybe
Or
they're just.
I was thinking, why are they 9-3?
Well, he's just saying they don't have to run the table like Penn State does, so their odds are better.
Okay.
I would say I feel like Penn State has a better chance to run the table and beat Ohio State in the shoe than Texas does to run the table, which if I right now feel like they have to, but they could also just be 9-3 and have a chance. But I think it's an outside chance with how bad they looked in the first almost half of the season.
If they did that, who would they have wins over?
Georgia,
A&M.
But that would be their
A&M.
third. Oh, one of those would be their third loss, right? You're saying 9-3 Texas or 10-2 Texas?
Yeah, then even worse.
Well,
Yeah, if
they
they're
lose
9-3.
they lose to State in Starkville.
A top
They
25
beat
state team.
Georgia
College game
and
day comes
A&M.
here.
We're not getting game day with Texas being bad.
No, we're not. That's a troll. We may not even get a night game, unfortunately. But that's neither here nor there.
I'm gonna sell as well. If it wasn't these programs, maybe it's different. You obviously don't trust James Franklin to beat Ohio State in the shoe, and for Texas, I don't trust them to not lose to Georgia.
Valid.
And so at 9-3, their best win being over Texas A&M at home.
We are forgetting. I will say this. If they lose only one more game, they will have wins over Oklahoma or Vanderbilt.
Oklahoma without Mateer.
Yes, but still a top 6 ranked Oklahoma.
It's Vanderbilt.
Top 20 Vanderbilt.
Also
It's Vanderbilt.
also at home.
At home. And then Georgia on the road, A&M at home. So you will have wins over, if you lose only one game, you will have wins over 3 out of 4 of those teams.
Yeah.
So you'll be 9-3
You'd
with
have
your 3 losses being at Ohio State, Florida on the road. Who knows how Florida plays out? Does Billy Napier rebound like he did last year at the midway point?
You sound like you're wanting to buy this stock.
No, I'm still selling it because I think they're going to end up losing more of those. I think they're going to lose to Oklahoma. I think they'll lose to Georgia. They'll probably lose to A&M. But I'm saying that if you wanted to make the argument that they go 9-3, like they can still lose another game and still potentially get in. That's my argument. That's what I'm trying to lay the case for.
Okay.
I don't feel that way.
Yeah, and I'll
so
also
time will
on top
tell.
of that, I'll sell.
and
'Cause
if
I
you
don't think they're running the table.
if your percentages are right, then it's a 60% chance that neither of these teams make it. So it's better because it's the 90% and the 35. So 60% chance that neither team makes it. So
Yeah.
easy sell.
Valid.
You selling?
I sold long ago.
Cool.
Next stock. Funny you brought them up earlier, JP.
Bachmeier.
Because I agree they're playing well. They're 5-0. But BYU to win 9 games. I just mentioned they're 5-0, so they have to go 4-3 down the stretch, which they have some tough opponents down the stretch. Texas Tech. I believe they play Utah. Iowa State as well.
Yep.
So they're
TCU,
TCU. The schedule
Cincinnati.
The schedule really toughens up. It's a brutal
Yeah.
backstretch, honestly, considering the conference they're in. You don't really get worse than that. But they do only have to go 4-3.
I would also. I don't remember exactly how our conversation and our preseason predictions went. I know I was higher on BYU. I know definitely than JP. I think he said something like, "The quarterback's not going to matter. They're going to be bad." After they lost Bretzloff.
Yeah.
And I was high on BYU. I said they were going to return a good team, and I said that they could go 10-2, 9-3, 11-1, make another case for the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, oh, I saw this coming from Bachmeier. I don't know that anyone did. But
I mean, his name is Bear Bachmeier.
yeah,
You could
and
have
he
seen it
wears
coming.
number 40. He wears in the 40s as a quarterback.
47.
So it's just fire. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I saw this coming from Bear Bachmeier. But BYU does have a hard schedule, but they've looked good through the first 6 weeks, starting 5-0, like you said. 9 games. They go to Arizona. I'm just going to lay out the rest of the schedule. They have the worst. They have no one in their schedule who has more than 2 losses right now. 4-1 Arizona at Arizona.
They're favored by 2.5.
They host 4-1 Utah.
They would be favored in that game barely.
They go to 5-1 Iowa State.
That one, I think they'd be favored in.
Go to 5-0 Texas Tech.
Obviously not favored.
Host 4-1 TCU.
Favored.
Go to 4-1 Cincinnati.
Up in the air, coin toss.
And then host. Did I say host to? Go to Cincinnati. And then host 3-2 UCF. So the combined record of the remaining schedule is 8-2, 13-3, 18-3.
Who suggested this?
23-3,
Yeah. I just came up with it.
27-4, 32 and 6 is the record of their remaining opponents.
I'm buying. I think they can get to 9 wins. I think they're a 9-3 team though.
Sure.
I think that at this point,
There's a reason I did not make it 10,
yeah,
because that was what the number was initially.
10 wins would be hard to get to. They have a plus 2,700 odds to go undefeated at this moment, according to FanDuel, which translates to about 1.5%.
Sure.
Plus 2,700.
Plus 2,700. So 1.5% chance.
That feels
to
like
go
really bad
undefeated.
value. You're 2.7 times your money?
No, you're
27 times your
27xing your money.
Okay.
That's a little better.
That is definitely a little better. My
Yeah,
math
not
is
2.7
moved my
times.
decimal the wrong way. Still bad, but I would not bet on that. That
Okay.
seems like with the schedule they have remaining.
Yeah. So JP is selling.
I'm buying.
Buying.
Sorry, buying. I apologize.
You're good.
I got ahead of myself.
It's 12:30.
I am selling. Their best win so far is Colorado,
Yep.
and this is just a brutal back half. I think they'll end up going 3-4, and only win 8 games.
Yeah, as the guy who was high on BYU coming into the season, I can't let someone else take that mantle, so I will also buy. I'm about to go chef up a fire tweet, actually. I'm glad you pointed it out, because looking at the first half of their season, it's looking like the combined record is going to be like 6-20-something. So literally, this was the dividing line, because West Virginia is 2-4. I don't think they've played a team above 500 in the first half. and right now they don't have a team below 500 on their schedule for the second half. So this is the peak of the mountains, the watershed, whatever.
I wonder if they'll have the same issues they did last year with the JP poll.
We'll
on-
find
on
out.
Tuesday's show.
At some point he'll have to address it if they keep winning. So
Yeah, absolutely. He had to last year.
100%. All right, next one. Buy or sell. 7 different teams can win the Natty, and it's at least 7. It doesn't have to be exactly 7. And I've tried to think how to clarify what can win the Natty is, and I guess like
It's
it's
I-
not like okay, if everything goes right, they can win the Natty. It's like a
no. I think it's would be classified as the confetti test.
okay.
Meaning, if you closed your eyes and you pictured this team hoisting the college football playoff national championship trophy in Miami with confetti falling around them, does it make sense?
Okay, I'm good with that.
That's where did you come up with that?
It's it stole it from First Things First.
Okay.
They mainly use it in the NBA
Really?
where they say, okay, could you close your eyes right now and picture Alfred Şengün holding the NBA Finals MVP trophy with confetti falling?
No, I cannot.
No. Okay, well then Rockets can't win the title.
That works well. Okay, so let's just like
Are we gonna do this team by team?
we're gonna start together and rule out the obvious ones. Ohio State.
Yes.
Let's all close our eyes.
I mean, I can hear the cannons going off. There's a parade. I see a parade. I can taste the champagne in my mouth. It's there.
That's a
yep.
yes. Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see Carson Beck's.
that would be.
You what? Do you, wait, Carson
Horrifying-
Beck's what? Hey, chill.
I see his horrifying grin
yes.
looking at me while hoisting that trophy. That's a yes. Oregon.
Absolutely.
Dante Moore
That's
championship.
the one I see the most.
He's got
right
the
now.
trophy in one arm and the Heisman in the other.
Okay. Alabama.
Yeah,
Why did you go to Alabama? We're just
they're the third odds-on favorite
Really?
right now.
okay. Alabama.
Better odds than Miami. Significantly better odds. They're at about 10%.
I see Kalen DeBoer grinning at me. So
Same.
yes.
I see.
Why are
that.
you seeing so much grinning, bro?
They just won the Natty.
That is true.
What else are you?
Well, I mean, Nick
Grr, I
Saban will
just
be
won
like,
the
let's
Natty.
get ready for next year. So
He
Kalen
he
DeBoer
smiles
just
a
doesn't
little
want to
when
win.
he wins the
Okay, so that's 4.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia.
Yeah. I mean,
Kirby Smart, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard to not, to be honest. They've,
Well, it's
they've
'cause
won it
they've
enough.
won it
Yeah.
twice. Let me just replay 2021 and 2022. Yep, we're there.
And I was thinking about it a little bit. That was the first big 5.
yeah, this is
that
where it
popped
gets
to
tough.
me.
And the
Tex-
odds.
Okay, go ahead.
It's Texas A&M.
Okay. I cannot
don't
picture
see
A&M.
it.
I cannot picture
I
You're
don't
from an
see
A&M
it.
fan.
Um,
Okay, Oklahoma's the next odds favorite.
I also cannot picture that.
I can picture that one.
I'm right there on the fence of picturing it and picturing not.
Do
I
we
mean-
want to table that one for you for now and come back?
We
If
can
it-
say, I mean, if we've got a no-go, a go, and a maybe, we can go no.
No, but this is we're all doing it
Oh,
separately.
we are. Okay,
I can
see,
picture
see.
it. I can
Okay.
picture it.
I can picture it. A healthy John Mateer, with the whatever it is, the asterisk, the whatever. If John Mateer is healthy,
Sure, which he's gonna be.
clause. I think that's the word. With the
Um,
clause that John Mateer is healthy. Then
Sure.
I think my biggest thing for some of the teams is taking the leap from being really bad to winning everything in the playoffs.
Well, these are teams
Seems
at
like a
this
lot.
point that are going to have to win 4 games in the
Correct.
playoffs like Ohio State did last year. The next 3 teams are all tied with the same odds. The school up north.
No, I just
It's a similar thing. They didn't even make the playoffs last year. It's hard to picture them
Yes.
just going nuclear.
Texas, which at this point with
They're-
Arch Manning,
I cannot see it currently.
they're
they're tied odds with the school up north at plus 2,000, which is roughly 2%.
Is there like a bet yes or no? Is there a bet no? What kind of odds are there on that?
I think you can bet them whether or not they make the playoff, which we talked about earlier, and they are favored to not make the playoff. So,
Mm,
Not
bad-
great.
Bad value.
and the other team tied with that is Notre Dame.
I can see it actually.
No, I don't think I can.
I can see it.
With the secondary issues and a redshirt freshman
It's
quarterback.
starting to clean up. CJ Carr is low-key the GOAT.
With Jeremiah Love and
You don't even need CJ Carr.
Kadarian Price.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're are they. Do they have one loss right now? Two.
Jadarian.
Two
Price.
loss.
Jadarian. It's Jadarian.
Jadarian. Price.
Are we even confident they make it, even if they win out?
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if I don't have to be confident they can make it. I can see them holding the trophy.
Okay.
And then you had to get into schools like Indiana, LSU, Missouri, Texas Tech, Tennessee, and then Michigan, Penn State.
I think
So
the
we're
only
out of it at that point.
I personally,
Uh,
this is crazy. I can see Texas Tech doing it.
Okay. That puts you at 7.
I think I'm gonna buy.
I
it.
have 7 as well.
I'm at 6, so I'm gonna sell.
Man, I hope y'all participated in this along with us. This was
Yeah.
a fun exercise.
The confetti test. You need to try it and try it amongst different sports as well. If you can't picture them winning the trophy and confetti falling down as they're celebrating and put on those championship hats, then they can't win the title.
That's what I'm gonna start doing for angleball splits. Like, if I draft this guy here, do I see myself winning?
That's crazy.
At the end. No, I don't see it. I'm gonna win every game.
I'm trying to see if I can picture my boy Wembanyama holding
I
the
can
trophy.
100% picture that.
And I mean, it's gonna happen at some point.
It has
The
to.
real question is he gonna have an iconic moment? Like, is he gonna have a Jordan moment or a Curry? Like,
I think
or
if,
is he
if
gonna-
he gets in the postseason, he'll have those like the Giannis moment of just an unbelievable defensive play.
no. I'm sorry, not like in the game, but like a outside of the game, like a holding the trophy or a quote.
He's just gonna take.
Oh.
He's gonna take the Finals MVP and hold it in this hand, and take the other trophy and hold it in this hand, and just full extension.
And they're gonna be 15 feet apart.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what that would be yet
me either.
because he's so tall.
Yeah.
He's
He's not gonna look like a normal human just sitting there holding the trophy.
He has a decent shot. He has a better shot. Like he's no Jason
Like
Tatum.
aura. Like,
for
is he gonna
example.
have aura when he wins, or is he just gonna be like, all right, cool? Like, I mean, like, shout out him for winning. He was great, but like, is he gonna be like, wow? You know,
I can't really. I'm biased.
buy or sell Victor Wembanyama to have a like aura right after they win.
Buy.
A moment.
I'll buy.
I would buy.
Okay.
He's French, bro.
Yeah, but like, what if like something? What if he like is talking and like, you know, uses a French word and it kind of just gets lost in translation and it just kind of like kills the vibe.
He's media trained.
Yeah,
We're here.
Okay. Let's get
He's
back to
actually
the
pretty
stock
well
market.
media trained.
Last one. Ty Simpson, Heisman finalist. He will be in New York. Doesn't have to win it. He just has to be there. Buy or sell Sanders as the resident Alabama hater.
I would love to know the odds first, like some other names up there before
So the current odds-on favorite to win the Heisman is 2 guys.
Dante
tied.
Moore.
Dante Moore and Carson
And-
Beck.
Oh, Carson Beck.
Ty
okay.
Simpson is third, essentially kind of right behind them at plus 750, and he guesses on the 4th odds-on favorite.
Ahmad Hardy.
No.
Okay, because he was 8th before, but I guess he didn't play
Quarterback
this
who's
past week.
wheeling and dealing. I assume it's a quarterback, right?
It is not a quarterback.
Ruben Bain.
Not Ruben Bay.
Jeremiah Love.
Wide receiver.
Yes.
Is it? It's not Jeremiah Smith. Is
Jeremiah Smith is the 4th
Okay.
odds-on favorite, and
All
he's essentially right behind Ty Simpson.
Did I see Marcel Reed's name somewhere up there? Way too
Marcel
high.
Reed is at plus 2,000,
Okay.
which translates to about 2%.
So he's not
odds.
really that high.
No.
it? That's good.
He's 8% behind Ty Simpson.
Did I see Kamario Taylor on that list? Am
I wish.
tripping?
Next
maybe,
year.
maybe the 2027 Heisman.
No, I will sell. I just there's
You don't think he's been in New York?
there's a lot of other names, and while if I've got a chance to
My Fair.
to sell, I will.
There's a reason I kicked it to him first because that was a no contest. We knew what he was gonna say.
Now y'all can give the actual realistic answers.
In my eyes, it's like if Alabama is the 3rd best odds to win the national championship, and I think they're gonna end up. I have them playing the SEC championship game, and he's gonna be a huge part to this team's success as he has been through the first 5 games. Then yeah, he's gonna be in New York in my opinion. So I'm gonna buy.
Yeah, that was my take exactly. If Alabama is going to go on to do great things, it's not, for me, I don't think it's going to be because everybody's playing well together as a unit. It's an excellent team. It's going to be because, Ty Simpson's playing really well.
Yeah.
Jan Miller's playing really well. Ryan Williams, LT Overton. And for me, I think Ty Simpson's the most obvious out of those. So Alabama, I think at this point, you'd expect to be in SEC championship and playoff consideration. So, yeah, I'm buying. He'll be in New York. Also because there's not a lot of competition around
No.
there. Like Fernando Mendoza is someone who kind of like makes sense especially if he plays well against Oregon. You could see him going there, but 4 guys go, and I think I'll buy for him to be
Perfect.
in New York at the end of the year.
Shout out Ty. That's the last one I had. Another good trip to the stock market. We had someone last week, join the chat and ask if we traded actual stocks, and obviously we do not. But this is the only stock market open on Sundays, so if you need your fix, this is where to come.
The person who said it best. Let me go pull up the actual quote. America's favorite sports Wall Street combo game on a podcast via Tucker Medlin in the chat 2 weeks ago. That's just the tagline for the segment. It's just iconic.
Exactly. Shout out Tucker. That's all we have, though, and it is 12:43, and it's been quite the weekend.
2-hour episode.
So what say we wrap this up and get on out of here?
Yeah.
Especially since we're going to double record on Tuesday, which I just want to reiterate that to y'all.
We don't have to worry about that now. Are we going to start a live stream, end it, and then start a second live stream?
Or
just
you could just
roll right through?
Can't you keep live?
Yeah,
stop
and then stop
recording,
recording and then start recording? Yeah,
I
we
would
can.
do that.
I think we do that.
All right, guys, we'll see you in the next live
I will
stream
be
in 30 seconds.
I think I'll have to bring snacks
Yeah.
to the double.
Yeah, we probably would. Once we finish the first one, we'll take a little intermission break.
We'll hit record. We can stay live, but we'll just
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
If there's anyone in the chat, we can stay live, and we'll just
Hang out and then
Drink
dive
some
back
water.
into
We need
professionalism.
We need
Eat
to
something.
create a graphic for that, like intermission with the timer.
We'll be right back.
Cool.
Dun, dun, dun.
I thought we just eat and talk
That works
with our
too.
mouths full.
Good night, Abby.
Good night, Abby.
It depends on the people in the chat or not. If there's no one in the chat, we can just shut off the stream.
True.
But anyway, thanks to all who tuned in. Thank you, Abby Brooks, and Joshua Whitehead and Prometheus, and anyone else that either tuned in live or is watching post. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, it means a lot to us, and we'll be back for y'all Tuesday for a whale of the show. See y'all then.
Peace.